At the time of Bob Marley's death, he was one of the most influential human beings on this earth. So was Bob Marley assassinated or he died of natural cause as the mainstream media reported? Why would anyone want Bob Marley dead? If he was assassinated, the question we should all ask ourselves, why was Bob Marley killed? So now I'm going to look at the details as to why anyone would want Bob Marley dead. In 1976 in Jamaica was a year of a lot of unforeseen events. Jamaica became a battleground for a proxy war between America and Russia. America being pro-democracy and Russia being pro-communist. Jamaica was an important geopolitical place at the time, and America don't want an enemy in its backyard. Cuba was enough. They wasn't going to allow Russia to infiltrate Jamaica and have a communist country like Cuba in its backyard. And one of the reasons why America believed that Jamaica was leaning towards communism was Michael Manley's friendship with Fidel Castro and Cuba at the time. So America was very concerned. So at the time, both the CIA and the KGB were in Jamaica fighting a proxy war. Bob Marley had organized the Smile Jamaica concert, or the One Love concert. 2 days before that concert, there was an assassination attempt. He was at his home rehearsing for the concert when gunmen kicked off his door, shoot him up. So why didn't they want the One Love concert to take place? What was supposed to happen at the One Love concert, or the Smile Jamaica concert, was that Bob Marley would call on Michael Manley of the ruling People's National Party PNP and Edward Seaga, the JLP, opposition party at the time, to come on stage and shake hands in a symbolic gesture of peace. Now, who wouldn't want peace at that time? The CIA and America. Because destabilizing Jamaica at the time was a very important part of their plans. Because in overthrowing any government, you need to destabilize the country. Because a country that is united is very hard to destabilize, and it's very hard to overthrow that government. So the CIA job in Jamaica at the time was to destabilize Jamaica. That is why you have certain events like the Trenchtown Fire. And the Trenchtown Fire coincided with the visit of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. And there was a lot of press, international press in Jamaica at the time, to cover the meeting with the IMF and Jamaica at the time. So when the Trenchtown Fire happened in Jamaica in 76, while the IMF was on Jamaica shore along with the international press, this was worldwide news. And subsequently, the tourism sector take a hit. The Orange Street Fire also took place in 76, and this was a very gruesome one. A home was set on fire, and it was said that women and their babies were trying to escape from the fire, and the babies were snatched and tossed back in the fire. Elderly people was trying to escape the fire. They were held and tossed back into the fire. So we also have the Orange Street Fire in 76. So the CIA mission in Jamaica at the time was to destabilize the government, because destabilizing the government would make the government unpopular amongst the people and would subsequently vote for the opposition party, which was the JLP. At the time, the CIA was backing the JLP because I guess the JLP was not leaning towards communism as the PNP. Even though the PNP claimed that they were not leading to communism, they were leading more to democratic socialism. So that is why the CIA was trying to destabilize Jamaica at the time. There was also a state of emergency in Jamaica at the time, because at that time, again, the government had received word that there was several attempts to overthrow the government at the time. So there was a state of emergency. The JLP says that the reason why the government called a state of emergency was to arrest some prominent members in the Jamaica Labour Party and prevent them from winning the election. Because at that time, there was a pending election. The CIA was trying to destabilize Jamaica, as I said earlier. This was where Bob Marley comes in. Bob Marley organized a One Love concert, and he had decided that he was going to call both parties on stage to shake hands in a symbolic gesture of peace and one love. They made an attempt on his life 2 days before that concert because they did not want Bob Marley to unify the country. He was that influential. So you see why it would be a reason to get rid of Bob Marley. So thus the attempt on his life 2 days before the concert. That was a failed assassination attempt. The next plan was to inject him with cancer. And I know people are very skeptical about this. People are saying, how can somebody inject somebody with cancer? How do you think they study cancer in the lab? How could they inject mice with cancer? So it is my belief that Bob Marley was assassinated by injecting him with cancer, which led to his death. So that was why Bob Marley was assassinated. He got in the way of the CIA's plan to destabilize Jamaica. People might be asking themselves, then if the CIA was unsuccessful in overthrowing the PNP government in '76, why didn't they leave Bob Marley alone? No, it doesn't work like that. Bob Marley's success in Jamaica could start a revolution amongst musicians. Bob Marley could very well turn up in another country on another day and did what he had done in Jamaica. So Bob Marley was a potential threat, because if he had gotten away with unifying Jamaica, Bob Marley could have easily done it in other parts of the world, and other musicians as well might take inspiration from Bob Marley activism, and that would be trouble. So it is easier to nip it in the bud. At the time also, we have to understand that music was very powerful. At the time, you have activists like John Lennon with his anti-war sentiments as well. He was later assassinated, because what we must realize, this is why people in the entertainment fraternity, they are not encouraged to speak on political issues. Why? Because they are powerful people and they have influence over the masses. So even if they do speak out, some of them will lose their contract. The purpose of the entertainment fraternity or the entertainment sector is to distract the masses. That is the role of the entertainment industry, to distract the masses. So that is why people in the entertainment industry are strongly advised not to speak on political issues, because they could get themselves into trouble, because that is not their job. Their job is to distract us, dumb us down, so they are not encouraged to speak on political issues. So that was why Bob Marley was assassinated. He had become a political activist by trying to unite the Jamaica Labour Party and the PNP at the time.